you can pick up some clients when even you're a big fan of camping.
Yes.
Yeah, it happens. So when we're talking about, when we're dealing with money, we're dealing with your fortune, how do we know some financial professional that I could trust?
Interestingly, I deal with a lot of, some CPAs that deal with some people with significant wealth, let's put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
They want to meet because they know what I'm capable of doing and what I do and how I educate and my writing and so forth, and my background. But what's important is when they get with me, they want to know about me as a person.
Yes.
So it was funny because I was invited to meet with a CPA. He's what I consider a concierge CPA. And first thing he wanted to know about was my family and wanted to know about me. So I showed him and I talked about it. So I turned the cards on him. I said, well, I want to know about you too, and I want to know about your family as well. And he started laughing. He says, well, he goes, I think we've passed the first test. Let's go to lunch. When you're working with people, it's important for them to get to know you and you to get to know them, because we're dealing with all their finances and we're dealing with their future. And they need to know that we're wholehearted and we're good people.
Yeah, the whole relationship, whole dynamic, it's a long run. It's not like a sprint. The team and your client, they need to understand this is someone I can put my trust in.
Right.
Like a lot of your clients end up with being your friends.
Yeah. Right? Yeah, they do. Yep.
You know too much about them.
Yeah, and they get to know a lot about me too, which is kind of cool. It's always fun. It's a give and take. A lot of times we'll become part of their family. We'll become part of our professional family. Yeah.
I know it's happened that you can pick up some clients when even you're a big fan of camping.
Yes.
Yeah, it happens.
I'm a motorhome enthusiast, and my wife and I camp throughout the country. We meet people in campgrounds, and we've established a lot of great relationships.
Yeah. So a lot of people thinking about insurance product, it's not really a one-time thing.
Interesting.
It's your whole life. You're thinking about how to serve your clients.
It's an interesting story. My wife and I have been camping down at Scusset Beach on Cape Cod this past year, and they have a library by the main bathroom where you can put books. So I've been just putting books in, and I've been signing them and just putting books in. And this summer I was there one weekend and I put 15 books in the library, because that's how thirsty people are to learn about positioning for retirement and income streaming for life. And I was amazed. At one point I thought somebody was playing a game with me. They must know I'm putting books in and taking them out. But yeah, I went through 15 books that weekend.
Yeah, that's a good sign that people start to try to build their awareness about how to protect themselves, protect their family.
Yeah, it's an area where people are worried, especially recently. The market's been pretty crazy, so they're all concerned, and it's important to gain information. And I wrote the book back in 2015 because, it was published in 15. We started in, I think, 2012, 13. But I wrote the book because I was running into a lot of people that were getting headaches just thinking about what they do and trying to understand. Just the basic question is, what's the difference between qualified and non-qualified money? And people would shake their head and they go, I don't understand what non-qualified and qualified is, and what's the difference? So that question led me to writing Positioning for Retirement. And since then, we've written many articles and promoted a lot of other things on the Secure Act and income streaming for life, which is part of the Secure Act, stretch IRA changes, things of that nature. And so yeah, it's interesting. People are thirsty for information, but they're also thirsty for teams, and they don't know where to find these teams. because I think a lot of times if they go online, there's a lot of persuasion out there. And
Yeah, people don't know who to trust.
right.
Yeah.
And that was the reason why we opened up the Retirement Education Resource Center of North America. That program there is geared towards educating people with an unbiased approach. And we have a PhD in education that's helped us, a professor from a major university in Boston. If you go on, you'll see his picture under board of directors. We have a computer person who handles our cyber education. And then, of course, we have myself, and we have somebody representing the legal aspects of the programs and so forth.